going on, family? Back with another video, you know what I mean? And I just got out the gym and then for a good hour and some change. I woke up a little later. I know my new schedule 5:30, but it didn't turn out that way. It's all right. I ain't beat myself up about it. It's just more so I need to make sure I make my ass in that gym. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about is something I'm not gonna say I used to live by, 'cause I still live by this to this day. And it's a saying of think deeper, live happier. I don't hear people talk about this at all, but for myself, I realized how happy I became as a person the more I started looking at things a little bit deeper. And not in a sense of overthinking, but it is a little bit of overthinking that is involved in this. So, but I want to clarify how you don't get yourself into like such of a deep rabbit hole where you start overwhelming yourself and you start getting anxiety from just always asking questions, this, that, and third. But I always believe in that asking questions bring clarity to the mind. Like, you're not gonna be able to know everything, but if you know what's important that actually matters to you, you're gonna be just fine, man. You're gonna be just fine. So I started being a deeper thinker around probably like 2021. I had a friend who put me on to Knowledge of Self, and he sent me like this Young Pharaoh video. If you don't know who that is, he's like the GOAT, I would say, or he's one of the pinnacles to like the new age of people coming across Knowledge of Self. Like, you got your OGs like Bobby Hemmett, Dr. David Blair, Brother Panic. You got your OGs that's out there, Ray Hagans, all these people, right? But Young Pharaoh, he was the one who got really deep and big on, social media and shit, like before you start seeing like forbidden knowledge. And he made me release the ceiling on top of my mind that I had towards life. A lot of time people are afraid to think deep because the fear of the unknown or what happens when you think that way. And I don't really got to say it, but you probably getting the gist of it. But if you're a spiritual person, your mindset goes beyond this earth right here. You're able to ask yourself as many questions as you want with the fear of nothing happening to you. Whereas though not everyone has that capability to have that kind of freedom. It's just some people aren't willing to dare take that risk or chance of having that kind of freedom. But once you start questioning more, you start thinking deeper, you start looking at everything with an open mind to the possibilities of why this is happening. And it's not like there's outside influences affecting our life, even though the only outside influence I would say that's affecting our life is like the mindsets of other people. That's all I can say. Like, I 100% truly believe that we are the biggest cause and effect to what's going on. There are spiritual things that goes on around us that aren't definable, but for the most part, I don't think there's like a string, someone pulling the strings and making certain things happen, this, that, and third. Like, you got your gatekeepers, but you don't have them in the inner workings of your community pulling the strings. It's everyone's mindset that's pulling the strings in their life. So when I started thinking deeper, I started looking at things for like, why is this happening? Okay, how can I prevent that from happening? How can I actually live a beautiful life? How can I be more happy as a person, be more confident, be all these things that I always imagined, desired myself to be? It came from asking a lot of questions. And once you start going and search for the answers that you need or that you want for your life, you start finding them, this shit becomes real life GTA, man. You just start completing missions. You start making checkpoints and like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this. And when something comes up, you know how they have that question that comes up on the bottom of your screen when it's time to complete a mission? It's like, all right, this is the task you got to do. This is the questions, whatever that might look like, go complete it. And then on to the next chapter. So when I say you should go about life thinking a little bit deeper, I really mean that. I really do mean that. Like, your life is gonna become so blissful, bro, once you're no longer thinking about the what ifs to life, and you're going to find out those things. Like, we live in the age of technology. There's not one thing you can have questions about that you can't go find the answers to, man. Like, we're blessed, bro. We are really blessed to live in a life where you don't got to go to the library to find the answers you want. You can go right on your phone. Literally, bro. You can go on YouTube because there's always someone talking about something that's already been talked about. There's nothing new under the sun. All the knowledge and information that we're actually taking in and digesting and shit like that was here before us thousands of years ago. And all this shit now is just refurbished, and they just tweaking it up to make it sound better this day and age, or make it look nicer. But it's like most successful people, they're not out here trying to go reinvent the new thing. Not anymore, for real. If you are, though, they're cool. But a lot of people repeat and copy the things that other people are doing because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. If someone has a proven method to get somewhere, why not use their method and then put your own flavor to it, and then go about your life? There's so many ways to win in this life, but you just can't look at things so surface like. You just got to look a little bit deeper, like, all right, what am I going to really get out of this if I do this? Okay, don't think you're a person that doesn't want more for themselves. Ask yourself, why is it that I'm not thinking for more for myself? You know what I mean? Like, you got to question your good and your bad thoughts. Because where is these thoughts rooted from? Where is all this coming from? We know something in our community, stuff that's passed down, is like generational poverty, like a generational type of mindset. It's like all of us all think the same. We all want for the same. We all succumb to the same desires, and, you know, sometimes things that set us back. I even might bet that it's a lot of things that set us back on this. But we always have that opportunity to look at things differently. We always do, man. Like, we all got a phone in our hand. We all watch TV. We all watch, you know, these social media stars and entertainers, and, you know, it might be your favorite politician. I don't care what it is. There can be someone who's like really savvy in economics and business that you follow, that you really look up to. Like, we all watch these things where it's like, okay, we can have more for ourselves. We can be happier with our lives. But what does it take to really get there? What does it take to really get there? Like, don't just look at it so it's like, okay, in order for me to be successful, I just need a positive mindset. I need to set some goals down. I need to make a plan. Like, okay, that sounds great. All right. Is there anything more I might have to do? You know, is there things I might need to cut out my life to get to where I want? Do I need to cut off certain friends? It's questions that got to be asked, man. Is it true that people might be pulling me down? We all grew up with that saying, if your parents love and care about you at least a little bit, don't take that personal, but it's like, I grew up, my mom told me, shit, you'll become the closest 5 friends that you have around you. So who's close to you right now? Are you proud or inspired by those who are around you all the time? The ones you talk to all the time? Are they pushing you to be greater? Are they pushing you to live a certain life that you want to live? You know, you got to remember, right? If you're not doing, I'm not going to say if you're not doing, but if your friends aren't doing what it takes to get to where they want, they might not care about you doing what it takes to get what you want, bro. And that's just the honest to God truth on that one. Like, people sometimes only care enough to the extent of who they are. It's like people want to see you doing great, but they don't want to see you doing greater than them. Like, I know you done heard people say, once you done got somewhere in your job or you done start doing great, niggas start acting like you done forgot about them. Like, okay, I see you, Mr. Promotion Man, or whatever the fuck they want to call you. Like, I see him. Like, why you treating me differently? Nigga, aren't we all trying to go up? And it's like those subtle things, man. It's like, and then that's where the minds are going. Should I think a little deep into this? I don't know. Like, was that really genuine? Would someone who really cares about me a lot say some shit like that? But you got to be able to know when someone's playing around with you and when someone's just, you know, being a little funny, right? But this is why discernment starts to kick into place. You don't start getting discernment, in my opinion, until you start thinking deeper about things. You start grasping on newer concepts and start understanding more things about life. You know what I mean? Get your life game up. Like, people trying to get big in the financial game, get your life game up. I promise you, getting rich and getting successful is never going away. It's not like I can really make that promise. I don't control the gateways of success and wealth, but I can promise you at the current moment, that shit's not going away right now. Like, you got a chance tomorrow to make the best out of your day and make whatever you want for yourself possible and make it happen. But a lot of things do start to become a little bit easier when you start thinking deeper, because you spend less time in your head and more time in putting things together. Because you already done did all the thinking already. There ain't much more thinking you need to do, to be honest with you. Like, the next thing you need to think about is after you done did some shit. Like, you don't need to keep thinking and you ain't took no action steps yet. Like, stop thinking for a second, put some action together, and now you got new things to think about. But I would like to say a deeper life is a more happier life. It's a more life full of like substance. Think about conversations you have with people, right? I hate very shallow, low vibrational, and I mean that shit, like low vibrational as hell conversations, man. I don't even want to be around someone who just asks me things like, how's the weather today? Okay, Greg. Well, how are things going at the new place? Oh, that's great. I mean, that's a good question. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, these short answer type questions, you know, that I'm being asked is like, my response should just be good, great. Like, actually some philosophical shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, people actually appreciate meaningful conversations. They really do. Not everyone is one to start one, but if you know me personally, I will actually cut you off, bro, if all you want to do is sit around and talk about some shit that does not matter at all. Like, if we in each other's space, bro, and we know we not where you want to be at in life, we know we got certain things we battling in our minds, in our mental, we know there's things spiritually we want to get together for ourselves, why aren't we having conversations about that? Why aren't we having conversations about the things that's going on in our inner days in our life that's preventing us from being greater than who we are? Like, I don't mind cutting the shit with you, but we ain't finna cut the shit on some surface ass conversations I'm having with a stranger that I will never see again. Like, that's not what I'm about. So that's all I gotta say to y'all, man. Like, start thinking a little bit deeper, and I promise you're gonna live a happier life. You're gonna have people want to talk to you. You're gonna have people open up more, be more vulnerable, share more with you. You have conversations that you can take away something from. You're not just gonna be having those conversations like, man, I'm just tired of having these pointless ass conversations. Like, I do not have pointless conversations, bro. Swear to God, I don't. If I'm having a conversation with you, it's meaning behind it. And it's either I'm gonna get something from it or your ass gonna get something from it, period. Because we leave a conversation like unfulfilled, dry, I could have saved my energy and not talked to your ass. And you could have did the same thing. So I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna make sure we talking. Shit, let's build something from this conversation, man. Like, you know, let's figure out what's going on in your life and let's see how we can actually make you better. Let's see what's going on in my life real quick. Like, hey, let me share something with you, man. Let me see what your thoughts are about this. You know what I mean? That's how life needs to be, bro. We need to have more conversations that build us and not set us back or just keep us where we at. So think deeper, live happier, and just watch your life transform, bro. I swear to God, it starts changing fast too, man. But that's it. I love you guys, and I am gone. Peace.